I went and got my most valuable guitar so I could tell you about it. I was sitting out here playing my other guitar, and I realized that I didn't post anything for Mother's Day. I took this past week just completely offline. It was my birthday week. And I think it's good for all of us to take a break from creating and sharing and engaging, just to reflect. And it's a great time. New Year's is a great time to do that, and your birthday is a great time just to kind of reflect on life and think through the next steps. So I was doing that this past week. Anyways, I got back online today and was sitting out here thinking about it and seeing everybody's posts for their Mother's Day, and I thought, I didn't post anything for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to my wife, who's an awesome mom. Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law. Check out these. My mother-in-law got me these socks for my birthday. They're guitars, if you can't tell. They're electric guitars because my mother-in-law rocks. And, and then I say my mom. That's brings me to this guitar. My parents bought me this guitar when I was 8 years old. It's my most valuable guitar, not because it's the most expensive guitar that I own. I own guitars that are worth a lot of money, but this guitar is my most valuable guitar. My parents paid $20 for it when I was 8 years old. And it's the guitar I learned to play on. And I learned to play by sitting next to my mom as she played piano in church. My mom, being a preacher's wife, like a lot of preachers' wives, she's a big part of the service. And she was our, back then, it wasn't called this, but she was our worship team. She sat at the piano and she played all the hymns and all the gospel songs that my parents sang. And I grew up learning those hymns and those gospel songs. And I learned to play guitar by sitting next to my mom on the piano bench, and she would just yell out chords while she was playing. She'd just be sitting there playing and just say G, C, and she would just tell me which chords to play. I'm so thankful for that. I think back to it now, how what church, how cool is that my mom would let me, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, sit next to her on the piano bench, and it was completely acceptable that I would make mistakes. It makes me emotional. That I could make mistakes, and she encouraged me and just kept, acted like I was doing a great job. At the time, I think back to it now and I go, man, I'm sure I sounded terrible. But at the time, I didn't think that at all, because they didn't make me feel that way. They never made me feel like what I was doing was terrible. They made me feel like what I was doing was adding to the service, and it just built so much confidence in me. And so happy Mother's Day to my mom. Thank you for the guitar, and even more so, thank you for making me feel like I was a part of the music, that I was a part of the worship, and that what I had to offer was valuable. Woo! Happy Mother's Day. Sorry, I had to stop for a second and get myself together. It makes me emotional. Here's one of those old songs that I remember sitting next to my mom on the piano bench while she would play and sing, and she would shout out the chords so that I could play along. Let me know if you know this one. I heard an old story, how a Savior came from glory, how he gave his life on Calvary to save a wretch like me. I heard about his groaning, of his precious blood atoning. Then I repented of my sin and won the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and he bought me with his redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew him, and all my love is due him. He plunged me to victory beneath the cleansing flood.